Let's show you how to change the color on your 190 indicator. That's one of the things a lot of people are most interested in. This is a 5-color LCD. You've got no backlight color, then you have a red backlight, a green backlight, yellow, blue, and pink. And I'm going to show you how to adjust that with the weight applications. In other words, if you have a set parameter for weight, you can actually have a change of color. So if you're weighing, for example, cattle, and you want to note cattle that weigh between 800 and 1,000 pounds, your indicator, your 190 Storm, will actually change colors. So not only do you just have a visual look at the number, you'll notice that it changes color, and you want to note that, perhaps for separation, vaccination, whatever it is you want to apply it to. Again, this is very, very simple in the operation. We're going to press the FN and the units key again together until we get to the setup mode. And when we get to the setup mode, we're going to tear all the way through until we get to colors. And again, this is not very complex at all. The tear is just advancing it from application to application. All we're interested in is colors right now. And we're going to set these colors as we particularly choose them and how we like them. Now, in my case, I'm going to make this according to my own preference. And you'll see that in just a moment. You'll see the backlight color here is yellow. And I'm going to use this yellow for a couple of different settings. Now I'm going to say yes here. It says no. I'm going to change this. Again, remember the FN, or the arrow up key. It's going to change it to yes. Now it's going to give me some options. I'm going to tear that to save it. The default color. And you're going to see the number 3 is corresponding with the color on the backlight. This is yellow. I'm going to keep it 3. But watch how it changes as I go through and select the numbers. The numbers are going to show me the difference in color. See, the 4 changes it to a blue, the 5 to a pink, the 0 no backlight, 1 to a red, 2 to a bright green, and then 3 back to the default or the yellow color. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to keep that as my basic color. Now when it comes to underweight, I'm keeping that the same. And the reason being, anything that is under the weight that I determine, I want to go ahead and keep it within that determined field of yellow. It doesn't really matter to me if it's underweight, because I'm going to show you within the parameters that I set, as far as the weight and the color combination, you'll be able to see when something is under the weight that you've indicated. So I'm going to tear and save that. Now the accepted weight, okay? I'm going to have that within the field of green, as you see it here. But remember, again, I can tear through and change this however I want. 4 is going to be blue, 5 is going to be pink, no backlight, then the red, then the 2 for green. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay? Here's the overweight. When I always, just because this color is known for the application that I'm going to use it for, I'm going to set this at red so that I know when something is overweight. Okay? So it's already set at red, or the number 1, but let's keep going through this again so you can see. Just to change that, I may want to set it for blue. There's the pink, and there's the 1 again. Okay, I'm going to save that. Now I'm back to 0. Now what I want to do is to set the weights of which those will fall within. Okay? This is going to be very, very simple for us to do. Instead of holding both the units and the FN key, the arrow keys, together down, now to change the weight and the parameters, I'm just going to hold the FN key. Just hold that until it gives me a low-high reading. Okay? Now, this I can change the time, and remember, the units is going to change that cursor however I want. Currently my time is set correctly, so I'm not going to really worry about this. I'm going to save tear. Here's the date. It's 12/19/14. Again, the units is going to move that cursor if I want to change the volume on any of those, but I don't want to in this case. It's accurate. Now the low weight, okay? I want to set the low weight. I'm going to go a little less than 160 pounds. So this is okay. I'm going to move the units over to 150. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this at about 90 pounds. So that you can see the underweight, because I'm just going to put 1 foot on my load bars here and show you how that is. I'm going to tear that to save it. Now the high weight, I have that set at 200. I just happen not to weigh more than 200 pounds, so I'm going to set this a little bit less. I'm going to move the units over here, and I'm going to save this to, I think, about 160. So you can see, sorry, I've gone too far with this. There we go. I'm going to move this around to 160, so you can see when I get on the load bars, it's going to be a little heavier than that. Okay, and I'm going to tear it to save. And these are the low-high settings. Number 2, I'm not interested in that. Number 3, number 4, number 5. You can give up to 10 of these different weight ratios. I'm going to tear through every one of these till I return to 0 again. Okay? You'll see when I get back to the 0 pounds. Okay? Now you're going to see that the color stays the same if I'm under that 80 or 90 pound range that I kept it at. Now when I fall between that range and 160, you'll see that accepted color change, and then when I go over that, you'll see it turn to red. Now let's see if I can do that by stepping on my load bars. Okay. Okay, you see it in that accepted range? Here it is about 100. Now watch when I put all my weight on it, it's going to go to red because I've exceeded the 160. So that's how your color scheme is going to work on the 190. Again, it's going to return to 0. There's your default. If I'm under that 80 or 90 pound, whatever I set it, I think I set it at 70, I've forgotten. No change at all. When I get inside that accepted range, it changes color again to green. And when I go over that, it changes to red. That's a very simple way to set your 190 indicator to make it acceptable to you as far as just looking at the actual number of your livestock and then at the same time having a color code or a change to where you can quickly eye it and say, oh, well, this cow is over the weight range that I'm looking for, or this one is inside the accepted range. Hope that helps.